So look, y'all, welcome back to the Work with Grants weekly public strategy call here on Tuesday, January the 7th. We are stepping into the new year. Lots of activity going on, even at the beginning of the year. Look, you all, and we're going to make sure that you all stay connected with us, the changes, the opportunities, the differences that are really coming your way, because there are quite a bit of changes. And I know that it's so much that one individual cannot capture it all. One individual cannot do anything about it all. And honestly, let me tell you, if you don't have groups that you connect with, if you don't have individuals that you communicate with on a regular basis, look, taking all of this information in, just utilizing your tools alone can be very overwhelming. It can be very overwhelming because, look, you can open up any application on your phone and get countless updates on what's going on. Many of them don't give you next steps. So you have to get yourself in a position where you are preparing yourself for next steps. Do you have what you need? Do you know what you need? Do you know where to get what you need, your resources? Okay, this is what we are going to have, serious conversations in 2025, because look, as we have the conversations with grants, we definitely want to make sure that the conversations are bringing out some of these solutions to the mix. We definitely want to make sure that the solutions are involved. But let me tell you, many of our new solutions, many of the old solutions that have been operating in our community for such a long time, they need to revamp a lot of their policies. Many of them are not changing with the changing policies. Many of them have pushed back on many of the changes that are directed in the community, and they continuously do. Look, they think that they can just change sides and push back and get more support on that side, but then they find that when they change to that side, look, they're not really finding support on that side. They're finding more divided issues, more divided concerns. So are we actually utilizing the tools that are delivered to our community? Are we utilizing them to bring us together the way that we need to be brought together? Are you utilizing your tools to communicate what you need to communicate with your community members? The solutions that you have, or the solutions that you're selling, whatever solution that it is that is paying you on a regular basis. Many of us work in hospitals as a solution, and that is a very good solution for many, many, many in our community. But let me tell you, if you are paying attention to the changes in the hospitals, if you are paying attention to the changes of their policies, their workforce, if you are changing to pay attention, if you are working to pay attention to the changes of some of their practices, many of our community members will realize that much of what is being changed in the hospital may or may not benefit you. What is your purpose? What is your need? What are you there for? Because let me tell you, there are highlights, there have been news articles all across this world about what's getting ready to happen, what to anticipate for 2025. They're definitely, for those of you all who may not be as alert or in the news, I think at this point, we are probably used to hearing the word pandemic, but what does that mean to those who survived the last pandemic? What does that mean to those who were unaffected in the last pandemic? You all were able to stay home and able to stay unscathed by any of the COVID. You didn't have to get a shot unless you wanted to, and then when you had to, you decided to do that. Some of those people are still getting effects from some of these shots, allegedly. I'm not here to report on any of that. But look, we want to make sure that we don't forget any of these things that happen, because here in America, we have a very short-term memory, because there's always another boost of distraction coming in our community. So we want to definitely make sure that we utilize the tools that we use, not just to report the issue to our community, but look, find solutions and share our report of the solutions. So here at Work with Grants, look, which is why you all tune in to the call, you all want to find out, well, what are you doing about these things? Well, you're just having this call every week so that you can point out all of the things that we don't do right now. Well, look, you all can turn on the news every day. to find out the things that are not going on in the community. But the only thing that happens when you turn on that news and then you turn it off is I think that you all are waiting for somebody else to turn around and provide the solution to you. Somebody's going to knock on your door, or maybe the next commercial that comes across the screen after they just talked about the drive-by shootings or the unhealth care that is actually affecting our hospitals, or the unhuman kindness that is really reverberating in our community. What commercial do you think is going to actually come across that news station to give you the hope that you need? Maybe it would be that next McDonald's commercial that will share with you the whole ingredients that they put in your burgers. It's a whole list, a whole paragraph of ingredients that you can't even identify. And they're not going to tell you to go learn what decomethylspecified. Look, I'm saying these words all because I'm not trained to read those simple ingredients. I mean, I'm trained to read simple ingredients like hamburger or meat. And many of you all, if you look into some of these ingredients that come across the things that are on the commercial, none of them are simple. None of them are easy. You all have to now be trained specialists just to learn what you're putting in your mouth, just to learn what you were telling your neighbors next door. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we're going into 2026, 2027, where even on the commercials, look, some of these foods that you all have seen the commercials over the years come across where they have extended the disclosures, the disclaimers, and all of that. Well, you all look. Disclaimers and disclosures are here to stay. Understand that you all have to do your diligence. You have to do the investigation and determinations of what is right for you. And many of you all have said, okay, well, look, hamburgers are still cheap for me. I have 4 kids that I have to feed, and I can only afford $5 burgers. And you all are going to spend $20 on those $5 burgers. But what would the effect of giving your kids that $20 burger? Some of them 6, some of them 7, some of them 8. And you might be giving them that. But I mean, you all feed them at least 3 times a weekday, right? And when you feed them 3 times a day, are you investigating the food that you are giving to them 3 times a day? More than that, are you even educating them on the food that they are eating 3 times a day? Many of us will find out that much of the food that they say that you are eating, look, this is where we have these conversations, but you're like, so yeah, where's the solution? Well, look, Grant, this is where our solution stands. This is where we stand. And this is what we are here to promote across our community so that you all can learn how to identify some of our habits, some of the things that we are used to participating in and practicing in without really any concern, because, we just do the transaction of buy and sell. And if we can buy it, now it's mine and I can do with it what I want to. But does it help you? Does it hurt you? Is it impacting your neighbors? Is it impacting your children? These are some additional advancements that here at Work with Grants, we definitely want to make sure that we don't overwhelm our community members with, but we provide you detailed and guided, organized process to explore this opportunity. Explore the opportunities around you. Explore what your concerns are, to explore more, even in your development, even as your children are development, because what we want to definitely bring to you, the solution that we bring in many ways, Grant can definitely satisfy a lot of the investigation that we need to satisfy when we are introducing new things into our families and into our friends and into our lifestyles or into our communities. Look, a lot of times when we do the proposal process with this, that actually does support a lot of the underlying issues that problem or that solution that you're bringing into us is looking to solve. But many of us don't know how to operate with proposals or even with grants. We are constantly ready to go to the bank and get a loan so that we can get the approval to do it alone. Basically, look, when you get the approvals of your loan in your banking industry, what are they saying? Your approval, the approval of the banking in one of the leading industries in this country. Look, I do not allege that at all. Do the research. The banking institution is the biggest industry in this country. And many people might want to, debate with that. Well, I invite you, connect with me at admin@workwithgrants.com. Let's have the conversation. Matter of fact, let's bring it out and plan it so that we can have a public discussion, because look, there are so many things that are coming out into the public. And in 2025, we are going to discuss them. We are going to review them. We are going to investigate some of these things, because we have the opportunity to share how our community is now growing, not just through the loans and the debts of society and this just, constantly piling on more loans, more debts, more fees, more this and that. We are going to actually uncover the process of proposal writing, of grant rate making, of grant funding, and who the funders are, and do the investigation of who is the best funder for our community members to get connected with, and come up with a rated solution even prior to you accessing that grant or the application for the grant. Look, you're going to know the opportunity that is there before you. And not only that, look, you're going to want to share this information. This is not stuff that you want to keep behind your own process in your own closed doors. Maybe you want to share it with your board members and keep it in secret so that you all can operate and get all of these billions of grants that are coming out here. I do know that is a possibility. Many people do operate that way right now. But here at Work with Grants, look, we are here about community growth. We are here about sharing the benefits, not just with the industry that we are working in, but we are sharing it with the entire community. Because, look, basically we know that grants extend to every industry. We know that grants can extend to each and every industry out here. And the only space that a grant cannot extend is where the funder won't approve it. Okay? And that just may mean that they haven't got a compelling proposal yet. I mean, look, you've got banking loans out here in every space of the industry. And I'll tell you, every space, they're going up space, down space, in space, outer space, whatever space, okay? Banks are funding all of these projects there and driving the crazy debt to get these projects done. Not just done, but on the books immediately. Because once they know, a lot of these banks, once the banks know that their projects are on the books, look, they're getting paid. They don't care if it takes 2, 3, 4 years. And look, many times they don't even care if they have to take a loss on it, because many of them count. They quantify the fees, the amounts that they're going to get from you, and pass on to the other industries that they are also associated with, because they've now gotten a project on the books. That's a loan, or that's a fee that they need to get paid back. So look, we operate this way, not by chance. This is not by chance. This is on purpose. And if you don't understand the purpose of how your community is operating, look, this is exactly why you need to join our call, not every Tuesday. I'm talking about every day. We have at workwithgrants.com, you have the ability to go online 24 hours a day and check out our programs, check out those benefits that are available for you. Because, look, there are many in our community members that are looking for benefits right now. Some of us are looking for more than just a paycheck. Some of them are looking for housing. Some of them are looking for food. And many of you all, we all say, well, you need to get a paycheck in order to get that. Housing and food, you need to have a paycheck to get housing and food. Now, listen to yourself, because many of our children who are born, they don't have a paycheck. They can't even get a paycheck. But let me tell you, we don't teach them how to get the food and the housing they need, because we put them under the approval or under the authority of somebody who is supposed to be able to access these things for them. But look, we're going to have these conversations. Are our children being provided what they need to be provided? Are you all giving them the gifts that you can afford, or the gifts that they can request. Because let me tell you, if you are teaching them how to write a check and how to go for a paycheck, you are very limited in how you are giving your children the ability to advance over the next years, over the next decades, because paychecks, look, they're limited. They only go from one to another. You ever heard that, the conversation, people living paycheck to paycheck? Is that how you are planning your children to? Because look, if you're not teaching them how to write a proposal, if you are not teaching them how to work with grants, they are not working to do anything but get a next paycheck. So y'all definitely come back because we're going to talk about it. We're going to have these conversations, and thank you for joining us.